Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Steletsy here with another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of Pirates mod overview for the latest native site, which is the Cossack Camps. So, if you remember from the start of this week, we looked at the Black Sea map, which had a new native site, the Cossack Camps, which I guess you could also call the Ukrainian Camps, since they are pretty much heavily Ukrainian flavored from the flag and the aesthetics and stuff. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to load right into the Black Sea map and check these Cossack campsites out right now so you can see what they look like. Yeah, should be quite good. Alright, so let's do that right here. Let's load in our cheat code so we get more resources and faster research times, and we can get right down to it. Very nice. So, since we're on this side, on the Asian side, we will basically have to walk a little bit further north up here to find the Cossack camp. It should be where probably the modern state of Georgia would be in the Asian map, basically. So we'll just walk up here a little bit and we will find them very quickly. Walk, walk, walk. Waka, waka, waka. We're almost there. Here we are. So here's our Cossack camp. And right away we can notice some pretty cool stuff. Basically there's a big giant Orthodox church surrounded by log cabins. Got like a Ukrainian flag over there pretty much. And let's make some of the stuff. So the primary unit you're going to have at a Cossack camp is the Zaporizhia Cossack. A fast Cossack hand cavalry from the wild fields with a powerful lance attack that charges while fighting. Can dismount. So looking at the stats right here, this is what they look like. They basically have the same stats as the Cossack outlaws in the vanilla game, pretty much. So they have like a slight multiplier against heavy cavalry. Other than that though, they're pretty solid hand cavalry around the board there. They do have the lance charge attack as well, which you can see right there. So it's a pretty powerful unit. But if you don't want to fight on horseback, particularly if you're fighting spearmen, you can dismount them as well. And they will have a range attack of about 22, a hand attack with multipliers against cavalry, so you can either have them act as sort of like a musketeer or as a mounted unit, which is totally up to you. And on the ground they do have a charged knife attack, which has more range as well, which is quite nice. Now we'll just mount them again, and there we go, the Zaporizhia Cossacks. Not bad. Right away we have a few texts we can research, including Golden Fields of Ukraine. Improves farming proficiency by 15%, so the same as sustainable agriculture. Not bad. Then you get this tech, riding tradition. Cavalry movement speed and line of sight improved, so they get a movement speed boost of about 0.5. Allow them to be a bit faster, which is great, and they can see a bit farther too, which is wonderful. Next tech is Sich, fortifications. Walls and towers get built faster, so you can build walls faster, blockhouses faster, as well as frontier fortifications, which is listed here, which is quite good. And now to do the rest, we're going to have to age up a bit, so let's do that right now. Let's go to age 3. So Prince, here we are. So the second native we can make at the Cossack camp is the Hetman, a light Cossack elite range cavalry, good against artillery and cavalry, particularly other light cavalry. So here we see basically a Cossack dragoon, which is pretty nice, right? Now what makes this one a bit different, it has multipliers of about 2.5 against light cavalry. So these are basically native counter dragoons, so they can counter cav and artillery good, and they can also counter other dragoons good as well. So it's a very versatile unit, right? We can obviously upgrade them to veteran and guard. We're not in age 4, so we can't get the guard yet. We'll get that rather soon. Also, you get this tech, Cossack Rada. Grants 1 extra Hetman for every 5 minutes of the game time elapsed, up to 30 minutes. So you really want to send this one later in the game, and it helps you stack in a few extra Cossack cavalry that you normally wouldn't be able to do. So there's that. If anything, let's try to go to Industrial Age now so we can access everything that we want, right? Get some recruits. Cool. Alright, so here we are. On top of all this stuff, you can actually choose a Hetman as well. So a potential Cossack Hetman leader to lead your troops. So there's 3 of them. You got Bohdan Khmelnytsky, Petro Konashevich, Sahedirechny, and then you got Ivan Mazepa. So let's pick the first one here, Bohdan, and see what he offers. It says, as a Hetman, he's extra strong, can train Cossack units. And he's got special techs, Cossack Hetman, and Cossack Camps. So we'll see what he offers. So what sets this apart from some of the other native sites is it depending on who you pick, you actually get them as a unit, as a permanent hero to your army. So Bohdan Khmelnytsky has a few options. So he can train both of the Cossack native units himself. So he's kind of like a little mini Daimyo in that sense. Statistically, he's got the stats of a Dragoon. So he's got like 50 range attack, with multipliers against heavy cav and artillery, which is great. He also has the Boluva Maul, so he can use the big giant mace to instantly wipe out a unit, which is great. He can build native embassies, and he can build trading posts too. So he's kind of versatile in that sense, right? But other than that, let's see what we got over here. We got Cossack Hetmanate. Turns your towns into armed force by increasing town center attack and hit points by 50%. That's pretty good. You know, it makes it really hard to siege you out then, pretty much. And if we put the vills in the TC, actually, let's build a house right now or 2, just so we can fill this TC to the brim. Let's try that. Okay, let's fill this thing up. So now, when you garrison a town center, now it's going to do a total of 135 range attack instead of the mere 90 or so before. So it's a lot more deadly. And the last tech you can get with this Hetman is Cossack Camps. Ships a Cossack stable wagon, able to construct Cossack stable, which can then maintain Cossack units for free. So, yep, we'll get that right now. And here it is. Basically, it's Eastern European looking stable with a bit of coloration to it. And you can either maintain batches of the ranged Cossack or the melee Cossack. So the Zaporizhia ones or the Hyademak ones. So basically a Cossack factory pretty much, in other words, right? And just to show you what Cossack Rada does, let's just send it right now. At this stage in the game, because it's only been about 10 minutes, we'll only get 2 of them. But there we go, some extra Hyadamaks over on this side, which is quite good. Now we're going to restart and look at the other 2 Hetman that we can get with the Cossack camp. Right, now we're going to have to restart in and check them out right now. Should be pretty fun. I think we looked at the middle one during my stream, so we can just check it out again and review it more formally, and then we'll look at the last one after that. Now let's age up right now. Let's go up there, and we should be able to capture that right away. Actually, I should bring my actual Cossacks up to get up there quicker and make it a bit easier. Yeah. Imagine playing the Russians in this situation and having like actual Cossacks and then the Ukrainian Cossack units on top of that. It's pretty good. Almost there. Let's go up this way. Let's capture this. Beautiful. So the second Hetman to look at would be Petro Konashevich. So here that's there. So this Hetman enables nearby Cossack units, and he has naval improvements. So he has Corsair weapons as well as the Dnipro saboteurs. So here's this Hetman now. He has a little bit less stats than the other Hetman that we saw, but he's got a special Cossack unity ability, empowers all nearby Cossack units, including non-native Cossacks. So not only does he help improve the stats of your Cossack natives, but he also will improve the stats of your regular Cossacks too, supposedly. So that's particularly good if you're either the Chinese or the Russians, right? Because obviously with the Russians you can train Cossacks, so he's a good pick if you're playing as the Russians. He can also be a good pick if you're playing as the Chinese and plan on using the Russian allies a lot. So, yep, notice how even your regular Cossacks also get a bit of a stats boost, which is quite good, right? But let's look at his two special techs right now. The first one is Corsair Weapons. Allows you to train carronades directly from your Cossack settlement. So basically, the carronades are pretty much just sort of like a light cannon that's good against infantry and buildings. You do need population to build them since they're a non-native unit, so we'll just do that right now. These are the carronades right here. Yeah, kind of like a little set bank cannon, statistically speaking, and they look quite similar too, except they're being manned by a European-looking pirate instead, the more Southeast Asian ones. The other tech is Dnipro Saboteurs. Ships 2 stealth rowboats with special sabotage attack and makes these trainable from any dock. So right away we can make these saboteurs right here. And at the base they're just like a little rowboat that can shoot at units pretty much, just like that. As you can see there. So pretty good across the board. Pretty good at that pretty much. And yeah, I'll show you their saboteur ability right now. You see. Let's go over there. Sailing, sailing, sailing. I'm looking for a dock. Yep, let's check this out. Yep, so that's the saboteur ability there. It does a large amount of siege damage and it's just throws like an explosive at, which is quite good. And then when you're away from enemy line of sight, you can move these rowboats into a bit of stealth as well, so you can hide from the enemy for a short duration. But do be aware that if you attack the enemy at all, then you'll lose that stealth and you will be shot at. So just be aware of that. So yeah, basically with this Hetman here that we just looked at, Petro, his main thing is about giving you better navy and giving you access to an artillery unit, which is pretty good, honestly, you know. That's why I liked using him during the stream, because I honestly like the idea of having access to artillery and another ship that I could fight with, which I thought was pretty cool. And you can actually train up to 12 of these Cossack rowboats. So if you want to make a whole fleet of these, go right ahead. Look at this. Like you have a whole fleet of them right now that we can sabotage the enemy with, right? It's quite good. And we can use the sabotage ability on boats as well. So if we sail about right here, Yep, you can throw the explosive right at him and wipe him out. It's quite good. Right. All we have to do now is just check out the last Hetman of the Cossack camp and we should be all set. Very nice. Reading starting. Give it a go with the Cossacks so we can sail right away to the native site, fasten the Explorer and capture that. Also we'll pick up Industrial Age now. A few extra Cossacks, very good. Let's start riding out, right in that position. Go up here. Beautiful. So this is the last Hetman move we got here. Ivan Mazepa. So empowers nearby settlers to work faster. Northern alliances and Cossack nobility. So if we go with that Hetman, this is what he looks like. He's similar to the last Hetman that we looked at. A little bit weaker than the first one, so not as much stats. But he does get this ability. Enables all villagers to work faster. So notice here how your villagers have the little ring around them, right? The little green and yellow ring that you see when you're using the Karnamata as the Indians. So basically he enables your villagers to mine faster, farm faster, hunt faster, really do everything faster in terms of cavalry. So he's the more economical choice if you want to just leave him behind in your base and protect your villagers, honestly, which I think is pretty good, you know? But he also comes with a variety of techs. The first one is Northern Alliances. Ships European mercenary camp wagon, allowing you to construct a European mercenary camp. So let's see what that is right here. Looks just like the German mercenary camps, but it has the little Ukrainian symbol on it instead of the German one. And we can make actually quite a few things from it. So let's check those out right now, actually. Get these houses here. So, Russian Expeditionary Company gives you about 4 Cossacks. These are the consulate ones, so these are the ones that actually shadow tech, which is great. Russian Expeditionary Force, 5 Cossacks and a culverin, right? And then we can get a even bigger army here of counter dragoons and 3 culverins. So it's the same as the Russian allies at the Chinese consulate. But we also get some other options too. We get the German one, so the same as German consulate allies for the Chinese. So you got the Expeditionary Company of 3 Zweihanders, some Doppels. We can go for the bigger force and get access to 7 Prussian needle gunners with 3 Zweihanders. And then we can go for the even bigger option here to get about 18 Prussian needle gunners and a heavy cannon. It's quite good, so a lot of options here. I actually like this because as long as you have the resources, you can get a ton of special units. You know, you can get culverins, heavy cannons, doppels. It's quite good. Alright, so now this is the newest one. You get a Swedish Expeditionary Army. So they didn't have Swedish in the consulate anywhere, so this is new. So Swedish Expeditionary Company gives you about 7 Swedish muskets. Basically just Caroliners, right? These are consulate ones, so these ones will actually shadow tech for free, which is super cool. Second army here is 7 Swedish musketeers and 3 Finnish reuters. So 3 Hakapolits and about 7 Caroliners. So you get both of these Swedish unique units. And then the biggest one here gives you 9 Finnish reuters and 3 Ladderkanon. So about, how much would that be? That would be about 9 Hakapolits and about 3 Leverkans too. So it gives you all of the Swedish unique units. This is very nice. It gives you up to 9 new units that you can make armies with, no matter what civ you are. So this is actually one of the better options, I would say, for military variety. Right, and the last tech here is Cossack Nobility. Increases all Cossack camp units' hit points. 20% to the Zaporizhia Cossacks and about 20% to the Hadamaks as well. So this is what they look like right now after getting these upgrades and picking up Cossack Nobility. Now these are looking a lot tankier, right? These are over 300 HP and these are almost 300 HP. So that's pretty good. Quite good actually. So that has been the Cossack Camp native site. I hope you enjoyed the little presentation here. Cossack Camp's looking to be a very promising native site, no matter where you might find them. I personally like the option I just looked at because it gives you some pretty cool army creating abilities, especially if you're a non-European civ. But you pick the one that you think works best for you. Thanks for coming today. Next we'll be looking at the Spanish Habsburg variant on the Balearic Islands map whenever I stream that map, which will probably be tomorrow or Monday. So see you then. Sign off now. GG.